Don't adjust that dial. That's right. You saw what you saw. Welcome to the Marc Denney Podcast. This is an audio only podcast where you're forced to listen to me geek out about all things entertainment. Currently, this is featured on the movie reference feed. I hope that's okay because this is basically a beta test for now, right? Just to see, I don't know, maybe it'll expand. Maybe it'll have its own feed someday and maybe more episodes. But until then, Brittany and I will always bring the funny, bring the conversation, and pester one another every Tuesday. So hopefully you're enjoying that. And of course, you have this episode, or I'm sorry, this show, the Marc Denney Podcast, that's going to come out on Fridays. I created it not only just so we could have more content to provide, but also, Brittany and I, we talk for a lengthy amount of time, usually on the movie reference, right? And we don't always get to everything that I would like to talk about. That's not to diss her. It's just that sometimes our conversations go a little bit longer, and something on the list that I wanted to talk about, but we just didn't have time for, or maybe there's a show that I want to review. I actually finished a whole series or something, or a film that Bernie already talked about. Like in a couple weeks here, Wakanda Forever is coming out on streaming, and I want to have an opportunity to review it myself, but I don't want to necessarily waste showtime doing that. So, with that being said, that's why I kind of created the show. Also to talk about things that maybe Brittany, she's not really interested in. Quite frankly, sometimes I bring her an idea and she goes, I don't really want to talk about that. Like, for example, the DC special that happened a couple weeks ago. That was, I really wanted to talk about it, and that's how that show came about. So that's what this show is reserved for, is to talk about those type of things. And then let's see what else. Each episode will differ. Just basically how I am with entertainment. Sometimes it's movies, sometimes it's music, sometimes it's shows. It just depends on how I feel, casting, and things like that. So there will be in-depth reviews, opinion pieces of like a movie or TV news story, maybe rankings. I don't know. It's just a place for me to share my excitement. This is supposed to be more of a, not more of anything. It's just supposed to be a place for me to kind of be positive and to talk about things that I love and that I care about, not necessarily to bog down in the negative stuff. So hopefully you enjoy it. There's all the preamble. I'm sorry you're finding this, like I said, on the movie reference feed, so you can listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor. And of course, you can watch the movie reference on YouTube. You can also listen to it on all those other platforms that I had mentioned before. All right, with that being said, one of the things that is a terrible crime, first off, is I didn't tell you I'm Marc Denney. I'm one half of the duo that makes up the movie reference. My sister told us, the audience, told me a couple episodes ago that she did not want to talk about movies that she's anticipating this year. We made a list last year, and come on, four out of my 10 got pushed back a year. So with that being said, a lot of movies, dates are subject to change, so keep that in mind. But I still want to talk about it. But for this first episode, I really wanted to talk about the movies that I'm curious about, but I'm not necessarily going, like, hoping to go to the theater for. Right? If I go to the theater, that's awesome. If I wait for it to come home for streaming and all that stuff, or for purchase, or based on word, some of these movies will convince me to go see it based on word of mouth as well. But these particular movies are movies that I'm interested in, but not necessarily want to go pay for a movie ticket just yet. Next week, I'm going to talk about the movies that I am, like, my butt is going to be in a seat in a movie theater with a butter popcorn. That's next week. So this week, we're just going to talk about more of the curiosities of what's coming out in 2023. Like I said a little bit earlier, dates are subject to change, and that happens. So All right, let's get into this. I don't want to waste any more of your time. First and foremost, I gotta say, a movie that is it's already come out, but since it's 2023, I've decided to bring it up. I've been hearing a lot of positive word of mouth about that movie Megan. It's a horror movie with the killer doll. She's made to protect or to be a friend, I think, from judging by the trailer. The first time I ever saw the trailer was when I went to go see that Violent Night with David Harbour, which I will recommend. Violent Night. That was a fun movie. Um, yeah, so I saw the trailer and I was like, wow, it seems entertaining, and it's weird because Chucky scared the crap out of me when I was younger. It was He's part of the reason why I don't like horror movies. But I don't know. I've heard a lot of positive buzz about it. It already came out. I think it came out January 6th, and it's doing pretty well. I think they just announced that they're going to do a Megan 2.0, which is the sequel and all that. So hey man, I think yeah. Anyways, that one caught my curiosity. I'm definitely curious about it. And another horror movie. This is weird that I'm starting this whole curiosity thing with horror movies because I'm not typically one to watch horror. But Knock at the Cabin. That one comes out February 3rd. This is that Dave Bautista movie with what's the name? Rupert Grint, and it's directed by M. Night S. I'm sorry, Shaman. I can never say his last name. It's like some people with aluminum and cinnamon. Knock at the Cabin. I don't know. The trailer intrigued me. I don't know exactly what it's about. I think this has like a source material type of thing with it, but I'm not familiar with it. So it could be good. Who knows? I don't know what you guys think. Let's see. So after that, the next one that I'm kind of curious about comes out on February 24th, and it's Cocaine Bear. This is well, I mean, if you've seen the trailer, it's that wild story about a bear who, takes cocaine, and the trailer made it. I don't know. It's based on true events, from what I understand. It's directed by Elizabeth Banks from 40-Year-Old Virgin all the way to Zack and Miri Make a Porno. She's directed Charlie's Angels. She did Walk of Shame. She's featured on Modern Family. Talented actress. I didn't see Charlie's Angels or anything. Or I saw Pitch Perfect 2. I think she directed as well. She's directing. Anyways, and this is that wild story. And this movie, the trailer itself made it look nuts. Like this bear is on a rampage during his high. It's like I don't know. I don't know. Is it a metaphor for Wall Street? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Yeah, it looks entertaining to say the least. I mean, I don't know what else to contribute to that one. Ooh, this one I'm torn about. You know what? I'm gonna wait to talk about this. Ooh, I'm gonna wait. Sorry. There was a movie that I originally was thinking about putting it on my I'm curious, but I think I might go to the theater to go see it. So I'm gonna reserve that. March 17th. I'm curious about two particular films that day. We got Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and Inside. I think for the most part, a lot of the DC movies, especially the ones that have kind of like their lineage towards the Man of Steel phase of DC. If you guys don't know, Alex and I did a big DC special talking about what's happening over there and whatnot. It basically they're going in for a big change, but there's still movies that have to be released that were pre James Gunn and Peter Safran. So I'm still weary of those type of films. So Shazam is Shazam. I didn't super enjoy the first Shazam movie. It was fun. They got my attention because the trailer featured my homie. My name is Shazam. They got my attention by doing that, and then this time they got my attention because they said, "Let's get down to business." Also used another Eminem song. So these guys trying to trick me? I don't know. I my cousin Alex compares me to Zachary Levi a lot. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. And then the other one I'm curious about is Inside. If you haven't heard of Inside, this is that William Dafoe movie where he's planning on stealing some art, I believe, and he gets locked in. He can't get out. He's trapped in this house, and he's kind of like going insane. So it just seems like a very like it's very interesting, and he's in a nice place too. Like it's not like he got locked up in a dungeon. It's just now he's trying to get out of the place that he tried to rob. So I mean, come on, that sounds pretty exciting to me. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. I hope you're enjoying this episode. March 31st, Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. I gotta say, real quick, full disclosure, I'm reading this off of IMDb. I'm going through their coming soon list, and IMDb is kind of user friendly, so it might not be 100% perfect. I might get something wrong. I just want to throw that out there. I should have said a disclaimer in the beginning, but Dungeons and Dragons. I had no idea Dungeons and Dragons. I had no idea this existed. I grew up on Pokemon and Magic, things like that. But I had no idea that this world existed. I think if I would have known, I would have probably fallen into it. I didn't hear about it until Stranger Things. And then all of a sudden it felt like a secret phenomenon just came out of hiding, and all these big name actors are admitting that they love playing the game, that they have their own little role playing friends and whatnot. And I'm like, wow, that's so cool. But I still never played a lick of it, never even tried, and it's intriguing. So obviously this is a kind of I want to say an exciting property, an exciting thing. And the trailer caught my attention. I mean, you can't go wrong with Chris Pine. Which, speaking of Chris Pine, he was awesome in Don't Worry, Darling, which I did check out. Not as bad as people let on. It's okay. It's okay. You can watch it. But yeah, you got Chris Pine, you got Michelle Rodriguez. I don't know. It seems like a lot of fun. It kind of gave the energy of. I know it sounds. I don't want to compare it because people are going to be mad. Because no one liked the trailer for what's it called, Star Trek Beyond. When it had the Beastie Boys trailer music or whatever. I loved it because that was Beastie Boys is what started the first Star Trek movie with Chris Pine. When they did that. But anyways. It gave me that vibe, like it was going to be this fun movie. It got this action trailer music and whatnot. So I don't know. It could be fun. Maybe. Who knows? April 7th, the Super Mario Brothers movie. I know what you're thinking. How is this on your curiosity? This is like a must-see. I mean, the trailer looks spectacular. I'm excited because obviously I grew up on Super Mario Brothers. That was my favorite Nintendo game growing up. And Mario Kart is something that I can never win. Best I can do is third place when I'm playing against anybody. But but I'm curious. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. Is this going to be like a Wreck-It Ralph type of situation? What is it? You know what I mean? I think that's where I'm kind of apprehensive. Is it more of the Lego movie type of stuff? I don't know. I enjoyed the Lego movie and I enjoyed the Lego Batman movie, but also the Lego Batman movie does not get enough credit. If you haven't seen that one, watch it. Please. If you're a Batman fan, you need to watch the Lego Batman movie. But the Super Mario Brothers movie, I could see myself really going with friends. Like if my friends like, hey, let's go check this out. Yeah, I'll say, sure, let's do it. Let's see. There's some movies on here that I originally had on my curiosity list, but trailers came out for them, and that kind of bumped them up. Not that I almost feel like they're not guarantees, but still the trailers got me excited enough to be like, well, if I get a chance, I'm going to go see them, right? Gosh, guys, I can't believe they're doing Fast 10. It should have ended at 7. But June 9th, wow, we're jumping ahead quite a bit, but Transformers Rise of the Beast. This is a Transformers movie, and it's got a cool voice cast. I think the main star is, oh man, he's from In the Heights. He's from Hamilton. Oh, I'm blanking on his name. It's funny because when a host do this on their own show, I'm shouting at the screen like, I know what his name is. Like, I'm just kidding. I don't get that angry. Anthony Ramos. He's the main star. I don't know. We'll have to see. I know it's, from what I understand, it's not a sequel to the Michael Bay Transformers films. It could be a sequel to Bumblebee. I enjoyed Bumblebee for the most part. There were some things I didn't quite enjoy about it. I don't know. With Transformers, it's a weird thing. You know what I mean? Because, listen, my sister and I saw Revenge of the Fallen like 3 or 4 times in the theater. Because we thought it was hilarious, and the action was crazy, and the music was good. And I know a lot of people are probably shaking their heads right now going, really? You guys are nuts. But that's what makes us so cool, and that's why you need to tune into the movie reference on Tuesdays. But I don't know. I'm always mildly curious when it comes to these Transformers movies, though. You know what I mean? Not guaranteed to see it in theaters, because I think I saw the first 4 Transformers. No, I did see Bumblebee in theaters, but that was for free. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the last few have been because of reasons. Does that make sense? So we'll have to see. It could be a fun one. It could be. After that, oh my goodness. There's some that I'm missing here. I know there might be some that you might be interested in. But like, I either don't have enough information about, maybe I'll see something with a cool cast, but I'm like, is it really going to come out? We don't know. It's a tricky line. But on July 21st, Barbie. I'm curious about this movie. This is that Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling. It's been really talked about, especially this last year, because it was, pictures and images from the set, and it looks wild. The little teaser came out. I don't know. Is it going to be? I can guarantee this is probably going to be fun. You know what I mean? That's at the very least I can guarantee. But I don't know what the story is going to be about. I don't know if it's going to be. Honestly, I don't know who this is to. Is this to kids? Is it to adults? Is it a mix? Is it to just harken back to your childhood? Is it? I don't know. Like, I don't know exactly. I'm sorry if you hear Sam in the background. This is what happens when you try to record in a quiet area. That way you don't wake up your son. So I guess the lesser of two evils there. So another movie I'm curious about comes out July 28th, The Marvels. This is the team up of all team ups. This is Monica Rambeau. This is Brie Larson's Carol Danvers, and this is Iman Vanali Annie. Sorry, I'm butchering the name. She played Miss Marvel. And this is a continuation. I don't know. I'm excited. I want to know. Like, Monica Rambeau came out of WandaVision. And, of course, Carol Danvers, Brie Larson played her in the first Captain Marvel movie. She featured in Avengers Endgame. And then there's Iman Vanali, who plays Kamala Khan in the Disney Plus Miss Marvel series, which I thoroughly enjoyed. WandaVision I enjoyed. Captain Marvel's first movie I liked. Not that I wouldn't say it was bad or anything like that. I enjoyed it. So to have them all three in the same movie, I'm really curious. Like, this is borderline I'm going to be in the theater. You know what I mean? We'll see. You know what I mean? Like, I know that Phase 4 hasn't been 100% for myself, but they could turn it around. And it's not like I'm like holding anything against Marvel or anything. I mean, gosh, they gave us 3 phases, over 10 years of great storytelling that tied together, and they're still telling great storytelling. It's just we don't know the overall story, and not that matters. I should be enjoying individual projects and stuff like that, and I am. it's just I feel now it's just I'm just getting overload because of there's the TV side and then there's the movie side, and it does feel like a lot as a viewer. Like it was okay just being movies. I would have been fine if they would went with just doing TV specials like they did with Werewolf by Night and the Guardians holiday special. If they would have just done TV specials for certain characters, I probably would have preferred that a little bit more than some of the series. But I'm not like dissing them or anything like that. I mean, come on, they're still at top of their game, and I still enjoy the content that they're giving. It's just, whew, I feel a little overwhelmed sometimes, especially with everything else that I want to keep up with, like Star Wars. And anyways, not to bore you, on August 18th, there's a movie coming out called Blue Beetle, and I'm just putting it on this list because I'm not sure what it's about. I know it's a DC project. I know it's a movie that happened to move from streaming. It was going to be an HBO Max release to theatrical. They believed in it that much, but I don't know anything about the character. That's something I'm going to have to do a little more research on when it gets closer. September 1st, The Equalizer 3. I love the first Equalizer. This is the Denzel Washington series, the franchise, not the Queen Latifah or the whoever played the Equalizer before. Sorry, no disrespect. I just don't know off the top of my head. But I enjoyed the Equalizer. It was I actually borderline great film. And then the sequel, I don't remember. I remember kind of like enjoying it more than most, I think. But I don't remember a lot of it, to be honest with you. I'm excited about this one because this is a re-team up. Dakota Fanning is joining the cast, and that brings me back to 2004 when I watched Man on Fire for the first time. Great film. Man on Fire is such a great film. So I'm excited to see them back together on screen, and I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited. September 22nd, Next Goal Wins. This is the Michael Fassbender. I think it's it's a football movie with AKA soccer, so football, okay? And it's directed by Taika Waititi. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's a little more of a palate cleanser, I think, for those of you who didn't like Thor: Love and Thunder. But guess what, guys? Taika didn't just direct Thor: Love and Thunder. He did Thor: Ragnarok. He did What We Do in the Shadows. He did Jojo Rabbit. He has so many other great projects. So even if you didn't like Love and Thunder, listen, this guy is super talented. And I'm excited to see this movie. It's not a comic book movie or anything like that. So it's probably going to refresh the wheels, if you will, so to speak. You know, kind of like Christopher Nolan did. You know, he gave us a Batman film and then he went off and did something that he wanted to do and gave us another Batman film, etc. He kept going on and off, and he gave us some great film. Like, God, he's the GOAT, man. I mean, come on. October 6th, Kraven the Hunter, Aaron Taylor Johnson. That's all that has to be said. I don't have too much of a connection to the character other than his appearance on the animated series, the Spider-Man animated series. And that was a cool costume. So I hope to see the costume. Who knows? It's probably not going to fit for live action, but I don't know. Aaron Taylor Johnson, I think he could do it. I think he was Quicksilver, if you don't know, and he was also Kick-Ass. So this is not his first time into the superhero business. Obviously, they're going to make Kraven the Hunter an anti-hero, similar to probably what they did with Venom. Venom. So anyway, sorry if I blew out your speakers. November 3rd, man. November 3rd can't come soon enough. Dune Part 2. Listen, I would be lying if I didn't say I was curious about seeing this film, because out of the two of us, Brittany and I was the one who enjoyed Part 1. Everybody else around me despised Part 1, and I said, "Oh, I really liked it." You know what I mean? Like, it's not, it's not something you can watch over and over again, but I enjoyed it. I didn't have a problem with it, and people thought I was nuts. They thought I was crazy. Part 2 is going to hopefully conclude that story and hopefully be a good payoff. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm not a huge Dune fan or anything like that. I've never seen the old movies. I never read the books. You know what I mean? So I can't really give you guys a lot of details on it. I am disappointed that without spoiling part one, two characters didn't make it out of there, and their particular performances I really enjoyed, and I like their dynamic with Paul Atreides, aka Timothy Chalamet. But I don't know. I'm also hope it could let me down. It could let me down and make me check out of the whole franchise altogether. You know what I mean? It could be like, you know what? Ugh, I can't do this again. You burnt me out. You know what I mean? But at least I don't know. I enjoyed part one, so I'm mildly curious about part two. I just don't know if I'll end up in the theaters, even though a lot of people are probably going to be like, "You need to see this in theaters." You know, kind of like Avatar: The Way of Water. I still haven't seen it, but I know people just like the first Avatar have been telling me, "You need to see it in the theaters." I'm sorry if I made you sound like Count Dracula. December 15th, Wonka. I'm only curious because of Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what's funny is I'm not a huge fan of that. I know I keep saying that. I'm not a huge fan. I remember growing up watching the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and I remember seeing the what's it called, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp. Um, this one's with Timothy Chalamet. This guy's got two movies coming out a month apart. My goodness, this guy is busy. Get to work, Timothy. I don't know. I'm curious. I think it's an origin story type of deal. I don't know much else about it, to be honest with you. So, and then the last movie that I'm mildly curious about is another DC property coming out December 25th, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. I say that because I didn't really like the first Aquaman. I enjoy Jason Momoa as the character. There's a lot of cool parts that happen. Like I enjoy the fight with Manta. I enjoy the big chase scene that happens. I forget where they are. There's a lot of fun moments because Jason Momoa brings the fun to every screen, but he also brings the tension. Like that submarine scene is pretty cool. But overall, story wise, I just okay. We'll see. We'll see. Like I said, with DC. I'm kind of apprehensive just because of the meh that I've been felt like I was getting a lot of since Man of Steel, but that's okay. Then you go there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this first episode. It's all about movies that I'm just curious about. Next week, I'm going to talk about all the movies that I'm going to try to be in the theater to watch on the big screen, however I can. And I don't know. It's going to be an exciting year, 2023. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I appreciate you guys listening. This will come out on Fridays, ideally Friday morning, and then just audio only. And then, of course, don't forget to come back and you can listen to or watch the Movie Reference every Tuesday. So excited about recording with my sister this week. I don't know. It's going to be fun. It's always fun with Britt. Anyways, yeah, I think that's it. All right. What's my sign off? I don't know. I don't have one yet. But one day I will.